Hello and welcome to episode 19 of Working Mum to Business Mum, helping working mums realise their dream of starting or growing their own business so that they can give up the day job to be more present in their families. All without the overwhelm and feeling like you need to work on your business every spare moment that you have. I'm Debbie Lucas, and over the coming weeks, I'm going to focus on each step of my journey method. I'll be taking you through each step and help you to know your ideal client, craft a unique solution, and grow your audience by creating that know, like, and trust factor. My journey method is for coaches, therapists, counsellors, and anyone in a service-based industry who is looking to generate consistent, semi-passive income so that they can focus their time and attention on doing what they love without feeling like they need to chase one-to-one clients as their only source of income. In today's episode, we're moving on to the next stop in the journey with R for Readiness Test. So you have used what you know about your ideal client and their biggest pain point to craft your unique solution, but now you need to actually get them to buy what you're offering. But first, let's kick off with a story about my shopping habits. I've never really been one to jump on any of the latest trends as soon as they pop up, be that fashion, social media, hairstyles, etc. Although not doing it consciously, I guess I would usually notice it a few times first and then start to think about it more. For some trends, I would know almost instantly it's not for me, but for others, after seeing it a few times, I do begin to like it, and will then buy that particular style of top or shoe, for example. And I'll come back to this story at the end of the episode to tell you how that relates to the R for Readiness Test. Okay, let's dive into the next step of the journey method then, R for Readiness Test. A readiness test could be a free or low-ticket offer to help your audience go from interested to warm. It is a way to offer them value, but more importantly, let them get a real sense of what it would be like to work with you. With your readiness test, you are able to showcase 1 to 3 core elements of your high-ticket unique solution so that your ideal client can understand in more detail what you have to offer. The readiness test is also a fantastic opportunity for you to build that know, like, and trust factor. It's essentially a launch pad for your high-ticket unique solution. There are many forms of engaging your ideal client or audience in this way, but for the purposes of this episode, I will cover my favorite 3. A challenge, a short online digital course, and a live masterclass or webinar. And these can all be either free or low ticket. Starting off with a challenge. This could run over the course of a day or even a week and is usually free but can be paid as well. The length would entirely depend on your niche, your subject matter, and how much time you have to spend on it. You've probably participated in challenges yourself over the years, so you'll understand it from the user perspective. But here are some things to consider if you're planning a challenge. Pick one element of your unique solution to really delve into in more detail. Break it up into different parts to cover during each day for however long you're running it. Also, think about where you will be hosting the challenge. The most popular place is a pop-up group on social media where you can build a real sense of community. But you will also need to be planning posts and be very present in the group to keep your members engaged. Your posts should encourage interaction, and you should be on hand to give feedback on what people are posting. This is a great opportunity to really engage with your ideal client on a more personal level. You may also decide to include lives or videos in your group, or it could be purely posts to prompt them to think and reflect. I would not recommend the latter, however, as you would be missing a chance for your ideal client to get a real feel for who you are and what you do. Live is best, and then you can also respond to any comments or questions in real time, of course. Moving on to a short, free or low-ticket online digital course. This would consist of no more than 3 elements of your unique solution. A short course allows you to go into a little more detail and can also include exercises and a workbook, for example. Your ideal client is able to complete it in their own time and can really get stuck into what you have to offer. But there's a real balance to be struck here though, as you don't want to solve their entire problem with a short course, because that would mean that the people who are investing in your high-ticket offer would be done a disservice and be paying more towards achieving the exact same results. And lastly, a free or low-ticket live webinar or masterclass. This is essentially a live version of what you might include in a short online digital course. As with a challenge, a webinar or masterclass can be run as a one-off event or over the course of a few days for, say, 30 minutes a day. Again, you'll most likely have attended a few webinars or masterclasses in your time. And I know for me, this is where I get the most value from the person running it. These could be run through a number of different platforms, but again, the most popular and free option would be a pop-up group on one of the social media platforms. You may also want to have a short workbook for your members to take notes and complete short exercises as you talk them through it. It's a great way to really engage with your audience and be responsive to questions in the moment. When you're starting out with this, it can feel really daunting and difficult to build a buzz. So there's nothing wrong with considering incentives for people who attend all the lives live and complete certain exercises. As you become more confident and your community grows, future webinars and masterclasses may not need this. But one point to note is that your audience will get so much more from attending live. People are much less likely to actually watch the full replay and then engage in the conversation, so you always want ways to really encourage that live participation. So there you have my top 3 favourite ways to test your ideal client's readiness to buy from you. With all of these options, you want to hint at or tease the additional value they will get from your high-ticket solution. It's a fine balance to really give them value in your readiness test without giving the entire content of your unique solution away for free or at a very low cost. You want your clients who invest in your high-ticket unique solution to really feel that it is worthwhile and that they are getting value for their money. However, it's also a great way to get feedback on your unique solution, allowing you to make changes to meet the needs of your ideal client and really target those pain points. Now, it would be remiss of me not to point out that there are various schools of thought about having a free or low ticket option. This type of offer is usually called a tripwire, meaning that clients will find it much easier to spend a little bit of money to buy something from you, and it establishes a relationship of trust between them and you. However, it also then makes any upselling easier, as the psychological effect of them already having spent money on you, no matter how small, means that the next step for investing more on your high-ticket offer will raise less objections. This is of course strengthened if you're able to give them enough value to really build that trust factor in what you offer. However, there's also the view that having a free or low-ticket offer like this is a waste of time, and that when people spend such a nominal amount, they will not be as invested in the course and therefore will not gain the true value of what you're offering, potentially making them less likely to buy your higher ticket offer. So it really is a fine balance between what you're offering for free on a low ticket offer in relation to your high ticket offer, and not something I can go into great detail in today's episode. Coming back to my story of whether or not I follow trends immediately or not. I need to see and hear about the trend in a variety of different contexts before deciding if I want to follow it or not. In business, there's this well-known rule of 7, meaning that clients need to see and hear about your offer around 7 times before they will buy from you. Although others will say this could be anything between 3 and 8 times. Whichever one you believe though, they still need to see and hear about your offer a bunch of times before they'll make up their mind. And whatever number of times it is though, they need to see it in different formats. So it's not just about 3 to 8 social media posts, but a mixture of media, and your readiness test will be one of those formats. You want to really build a connection with your client, showing them that you really understand their problem, but also that you are able to offer them transformation. And remember, we're not selling a course or program, we're selling transformation. There is likely to be many others selling a very similar offer to yours, so you want to be sure that you become the obvious choice for them and that they know how they can work with you. To finish up, here are your top 5 takeaways from today's episode. A readiness test allows you to move an interested audience to a warm audience. Number 2, it allows you to offer value and showcase some of the core elements of your high-ticket unique solution. Thirdly, it allows you to talk about your high-ticket unique solution in a non-salesy way. Your readiness test will form part of your wider marketing strategy. And lastly, you're able to get feedback on your unique solution directly from your ideal client. To end with, a quote from Pete Cashmore. We're living at a time when attention is the new currency. Those who insert themselves into as many channels as possible look set to capture the most value. A readiness test is a great way to build that know, like and trust factor. It also allows you to test out your unique solution and get real-time feedback from your ideal client, which you can then use to further improve it. Join me next week for episode 20, where we're taking a pit stop from the journey method because it's a guest interview episode, and I'm delighted to have the vision board queen herself, Lisa Williams, who's joining me to discuss why having a vision is important and how to go about making it a reality. Lisa will be offering some real golden nuggets to help you achieve your dreams. As always, you can find me on all the usual social media channels and in my Facebook group, Working Mum to Business Mum, and of course on my website, coachingwithdebbie.com, where you'll find a link to sign up to my weekly newsletter so that you get any resources I mention in my episodes directly to your inbox. And all the links are in the show notes. If you like this podcast, it would really help me a lot if you can share it, rate and review it, and if you don't want to miss the next episode, then hit that subscribe button. Until then, wishing you all the best.